Meeting. Before we begin, I'd like to share with the audience that if you are in need of Spanish translation services, we have Lupita here to assist.
Buenas tardes, me llamo Lupita y sí, estoy aquí disponible para proporcionar servicios de interpretación al español durante esta reunión de la mesa directiva. Si necesita asistencia lingüística, estoy aquí disponible.
Thank you, Lupita. On behalf of the board, we'd like to share a reminder regarding the process for public comments during board meetings. For each agendized action, discussion, or information-only item, the board will hear from staff, provide an opportunity for public comment, then hold a board discussion and vote if necessary. Public comment on non-agendized items will be heard during item 7, and public comments on closed session items will be heard during item 10 before adjourning into closed session. Public comment is an opportunity for members of the public to comment on items that are on the board's agenda or otherwise within the board's jurisdiction. To help us organize public comment using this system, if you wish to provide public comment, please complete a speaker card located at the entrance to the meeting room and provide it to the executive assistant to the superintendent, Michelle, who's sitting closest to the door. Speaker cards for public comment will be accepted prior to the calling for the public comment portion of an agenda item. I call this meeting to order at 5:31 p.m. and would now like to establish a quorum by roll call vote.
Board President Jason Remenzi.
Yes.
Board Clerk Jake Odello.
Yes.
Board Member Sarah Hines.
Yes.
Board Member Matt Glazer.
Yes.
And for the record, Board Member Rita Patel is absent.
May I receive a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Board President Jason Remenzi.
Yes.
Board Clerk Jake Odello.
Yes.
Board Member Sarah Hines.
Yes.
Board Member Matt Glazer.
Yes.
I notify the audience that the open session will be audio taped, broadcast, and recorded to the district's YouTube channel. Matt, will you please lead us on the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you, Matt. Item 2, reports. These are routine status updates regarding campus activities, meeting schedules, conferences, and meetings attended, and recent developments from our student board representative and our unions ACT and CSEA. We'll start with our student representative report with Juliet Norman.
Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to this year and for the opportunity to be your student representative to the board. As you know, school started last Thursday, so as of today, from preschool to high school, we've all had one full week of classes to explore and acclimate to our new schedules and environments and break in our fresh new school supplies and outfits. Some schools have already had their back-to-school nights. Carmelo had its back-to-school night last Wednesday, and they had a very good turnout with lots of parents attending. Captain Cooper had their back-to-school night on Monday. They have a few new staff members this year, and it was a great opportunity for everyone to meet. River School also had its back-to-school night on Monday, and it was also very well attended. The classes were open, and there was a gathering in the multi-purpose room to introduce staff and the PTO. The PTO announced their efforts to raise $75,000 to support free access to their events and programs for all families. CMS's back-to-school night was last night. The parking lot was full as so many parents took the time to attend to follow their child's schedule and get a first-hand understanding of their upcoming year. Carmel High School's back-to-school night will be the 21st. And Tularcitos has their back-to-school night next Wednesday. Then next Friday, Tular is having a camp out where families sign up for a spot to camp on the field and the pool will be open. There will be s'mores, a movie in Bobcat Hall, and pancakes in the morning. Then the next night, Tular kids will get VIP treatment by the Monterey Bay Football Club for back-to-school night at their home game against San Antonio. Sports are just about to start at Carmel Middle School. Soccer and volleyball have tryouts next week, and cross-country starts the following week. At the high school, tryouts and practices are already underway for most fall sports. Fall is a very action-packed sports season at CHS with cross country, flag football, girls golf, girls tennis, girls volleyball, field hockey, water polo, cheerleading, and of course, our state championship winning football team. Auditions are also happening now for the Carmel High School musical Little Women, and club leaders have a meeting tomorrow to prepare for the club fair on the 21st and to reunite existing clubs and start new ones. Last Friday morning, high school seniors had their traditional senior sunrise, where they got to school early to watch the sunrise from the football field. This year it was foggy, so we couldn't actually see the sunrise, but it was a good class bonding experience with hot cocoa and pastries. The entire high school will also have a rally next Friday to build upon the excitement and potential for the new school year. We are well underway, and I'm excited to bring you news and discuss issues of interest from the students as we start this new school year. Thank you.
Thank you, Juliet. Next, we'll hear from our ACT President, Bill Schreier.
Hello, everybody. Bill Schreier, President of the Association of Carmel Teachers. Starting my 5th term after a 2-year hiatus, and I'm honestly glad to be back. Looking forward to having a really positive and collaborative relationship with you all. Sharon and I today spoke for about an hour in my classroom about stuff, and it was really positive, full-throated conversation, and that's the model that we have for ACT. I'm looking forward to connecting with all the individual board members, and good to have you here, Juliet, too. So thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Bill.
Next, our CSEA President, Anna Medina.
Hi, I just want to say welcome back to everybody, and we look forward to this next school year and working with you and negotiations and getting to work with Bill for the first time. This is just going into my middle of my first year, so we look forward to the new year and working with all of you to make things better and on the strategic plan. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Anna. Agenda item 3, Superintendent Report. These are routine status updates regarding campus activities, meeting schedules, conferences, and meetings attended, and recent developments from our Superintendent, Sharon Ofek.
Thank you. So I will start off by saying it feels like summer has just flown by and was incredibly too short. But that being said, the district has been abuzz with lots of activity in preparation for the start of the new school year. And we've welcomed, obviously, all staff back. We've experienced a really smooth opening to school at all the sites. And we're in, as you heard, the midst of back-to-school night events throughout the district. On the very first day of school, accompanied by Board Member Patel, I visited all of our schools here in Carmel: CMS, CVHS, CCDC, Tular River, and CHS. And I'm looking forward to going to Cooper tomorrow. And I am hoping this is still holding true, but that Board Member Odella will be able to join me. So working on getting routine visits done and completed on multiple campuses. I've been back to several campuses in between the first day and today, the 4th day, ironically, including spending several hours at the high school this morning. And I just continue to be impressed by the interactions I see and have with students and staff alike. Passing periods, by the way, amazing. They're amazingly orderly, and the students are very engaged in classes that I happen to have been able to either see or walk into and watch for a few minutes. I think it's been really impressive, and you can tell there's just a remarkable difference, for me at least, from my first visit to the high school multiple years ago now and this week. So very impressed, and continue to be optimistic about the trajectory of our school. So most importantly, however, I want to express my appreciation for the entire school community. For such a successful start to the school year. It takes everyone's contributions to have a smooth, successful opening, and I'm looking forward to that happening and continuing on throughout the year. And again, I would like to just express my gratitude, as I have on a number of occasions, for the resources we do have. Not all of our neighbors have the resources we do have. We didn't spend our entire summer worrying about federal dollars being cut and pink slipping people and looking at seniority lists and all that kind of business. So I'm very grateful that we're here in Carmel Unified and we were able to focus on what we were doing on behalf of students and preparing for the start of this school year. I have a whole bunch of optimism for what our future holds, and I hope that we all share the belief that we can make a really amazingly positive difference in the lives of our students, and I look forward to working on that with everyone collaboratively this year.
Thank you, Sharon. On to agenda item 4, our consent calendar. The board may bundle a number of items and act upon them together in one motion through the use of a consent calendar. Consent agenda items are routine items deemed to be non-controversial for which board discussion is not anticipated and for which the superintendent recommends approval. There will be no discussion of these items prior to the vote unless any member of the board requests specific items to be removed for discussion. The board did not receive any requests for public comment. May I receive a motion to approve item 4 consent calendar?
I move to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Second.
Board President Jason Remenzi.
Yes.
Board Clerk Jake Odello.
Yes.
Board Member Sarah Hines.
Yes.
Board Member Matt Glazer.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 5A, the 2025 Summer School Overview with Deputy Superintendent Dr. Mary Petty.
Thank you. Miss Lee Cambra, our summer school administrator, and Dr. Steve Gonzalez, our SPED director, who oversaw our extended school year program this summer. Running successful summer programs, as you know, takes a special passion for students, as well as the collaboration of multiple departments in our district and site level offices and classrooms. We had lots of planning meetings, and they started really in last November. So there was a lot of planning put into this last summer school program. I would like to thank both Lee and Steve for their leadership and their teamwork across our district so that our June and July programming provided really meaningful learning and enrichment opportunities for our students, and tonight they are here to share those highlights and student successes. So without further ado,
hello everyone. There we go. I used to have one of these a long time ago. I got a new one recently. Forgot how they worked. Okay, so I guess what we're going through here is just a lot of what we did this summer was with community partners. That's been a big part of what we've been doing. We had both the summer school for TK through 6 and ESY extended school year. We had summer school at both Tular, but this year we also had it at Captain Cooper, which was really exciting, and I'll have more on that in a minute. There was also credit recovery for high school, and then we have the Kashawa camp in the swim week. So we're going to go through that a little bit. So these are our partners. So these are the partnerships that we had this year. So the YMCA did a lot for us to help us with, they did some camps at both River and Tular. And then they also helped us out with afternoons during summer school for all students. So the full week-long camps for the UPP students, and then the summer school afternoons where any student that was invited to summer school was invited to stay for the YMCA program that went until 5:30. And then we had a really cool thing happen. The public library reached out to us because the Monterey County, Monterey County Libraries had a grant, and one of the things that they had to do was like 3 sort of like pop-ups this summer to encourage families to read. And so they reached out to us, and they did their pirate-themed pop-up during the first week of summer school. And so that was really fun to have them out there encouraging reading, and they had some decorations and some like costumes and things about pirates and like a book for them to read. So that was really fun. And then we've been trying to get this partnership going for years, it feels like, and that's Stage Kids, and that's a program out in Big Sur. And we're really excited that it worked out this year to fall into place that they do their own camps in July, but we asked them to come and do afternoons after summer school at Cooper. And it worked out perfectly for them because their staff was excited and their staff was available. So we were really happy that Stage Kids finally came together. And then, of course, like what we always do, we have the partnership with the Carmel Valley Community Youth Center for their pool, and they put in for a grant that helps pay for the swim lessons for the Kashawa and the Big Sur students. So this is Captain Cooper. So like I said, we're really excited that we got to have summer school there. They did their first week as their Around the World Week. There are over 30 students attending Around the World Week, and that's sort of been the tradition at Cooper, having that week. This year, they didn't do any field trips. It was all at Cooper, run by Cooper staff. And then we had summer school. That was at the same time as the Tular Summer School. So what was cool about that is, so we had 2 teachers from River actually go out to Cooper. Annalise and Brittany went out there for summer school and led. It was about 12 students each day, not always the same 12, but always about 12 every day. So they worked on reading, writing, social studies. And then we had Maya, who was the STEM teacher for basically all of summer school. She would spend 2 days at Tular, and then she would do 1 day at Cooper. And so that way, everybody at Cooper got the same STEM experience that was happening at Tular. And then, like I said, Stage Kids was really exciting to have them there in the afternoons. And then summer school this year, similar to how it's been in the past, it's been rotating back and forth. And so this is our second year at Tular, and the weather was beautiful this year. It was so nice. So I put some stats here just to kind of give the idea that 193 UPP students were invited and 67 actually attended. And then we had the students who were recommended for summer school based on some just assessments throughout the year, and then also possibly teacher recommendations as well. And so we had 164 students that were recommended and 65 accepted. We did grade level groups, so we had both reading and math interventions. So we had 2 teachers, that one in charge of reading, one in charge of math, Rochelle and Kim, and they did some assessing and put groups together to help with students needing extra help in reading and math. And then we had PE, and as I mentioned, we had STEM. And then middle school ended up being a boot camp for a variety of reasons, but it actually ended up being really cool because fortunately, I work with some awesome teachers at the high school, and Daryl Steely's awesome. And so I was like, hey, so I need some help with our incoming 6th graders. And so what we ended up doing was we had the first 3 days, Daryl Steely did some science with them. And then the next 2 days, Matt Borick did some sports med, some basic like survival skills, first aid. They got to do CPR on the dummies and everything. And then Brenda Buren came in for 3 days of like a writing workshop. And then we wrapped it up with Kevin Buren coming back to do more science. So 3 days of science. So it was kind of cool because it felt a little bit more like going into middle school where things like kind of change around. And they actually all had a really good time. So that worked out great. And then just to make things like simple-ish for our transportation, we put the extended school year for high school at Tular. So they do the Edmentum program, which is just like credit recovery. Oh, sorry, I was moving on really quick. Sorry, not extended school year. He'll talk about that in a second. I wanted to mention, I'll go to credit recovery. So credit recovery is the students that were short credits or whatever was going on. And so we had 21 sign up to take a class, 18 actually attended, 14 completed 1 course, and 4 somehow completed 2 during that time, which is crazy. But so they were out in the Tular Rex area. So they had their own space out there, which was really nice. So they could take the bus out to Tular if they needed to, but if they were driving or being dropped off, they had their own little parking lot out there. They had a fridge. We brought them food. It was really nice, actually. It was nice having them there together, but still like separate. So it made it a lot more efficient for transportation and just, I think, for everybody. And then I wanted to really mention too that the high school volunteers, that this is great for our elementary students that they get to do this, but we usually have somewhere between 12 to 15 high school volunteers who come out. We assign them a class, a teacher to work with, or they work in PE and play games all day long. And it's great because they end up getting all of their community service hours done if they choose to stick it out the entire time. But so most of them end up with like 50-ish hours of community service, and they have a great time. And to see kids like helping out in a kindergarten class who maybe are thinking about being a teacher, or maybe now they're like, I don't want to do this, it gives them some experience that I don't think they would really get otherwise, to actually get to be like in a classroom like that. So I love that part of this, that we had so many students want to come and help and be volunteers. And then of course a huge thank you to the bus drivers, food service staff. We had a health aide this year, which was great, and just kept us all moving, fed, healthy, all of that. And then extended school year.
Thank you for having me here today. I also want to thank Lee for her efforts. It was a collaborative effort. When we were in the planning phase, we got together early. We talked about our students and how we can help support them. And then I also want to, I'm grateful and appreciate our our departments as well. Craig in HR, also in transportation with Dan and his staff, and Marion and services, and Yvonne as well, because even though we're a smaller program, we still have to provide the services. We have to do the staffing. We have to work with the nutritional department to really support the whole student. And so it is a collective effort. We had about 30 students district-wide, a little bit more than that qualified for ESY, extended school year, and approximately 11 accepted and attended. And so you can see we are a smaller program. We are required to provide extended school year if the IEP team deems that it's appropriate. And there is really specific criteria that they look at. And they look at really during the previous year or during breaks, they look at data to determine if a student has regressed in some way in the skills and the knowledge after a long break. And then based on that information, they then determine, if it's appropriate for the student and to offer extended school year. If the student does attend extended school year, it isn't to get them ahead. It really is to support what they currently learned during the school year, so that they can maintain the skills and the knowledge that they received. Again, as you can see, we did provide extended school year at Tulare Elementary, and then for the secondary students, we provided extended school year at the middle school in the Meet Earth program. And so it provided a nice inclusive program at Tularcitos, where we even had some students that still, in terms of least restrictive environment, we were able to support in the general education regular school program. And so we look forward to serving our students again in the upcoming school year. We're already thinking about that, believe it or not. And also in terms of staffing, again, you could see we provide occupational therapy, speech services, behavioral services, as well as specialized academic instruction. Thank you.
Thank you both. The board, oh, they're not, okay. Well, you both said thank you, so I thought we were on to that part. All right, continue, please.
We got a video. I don't know how. Will it? Nope. Okay. All right. We got a video.
This summer, Carmel Unified School District made learning exciting even while school was out. Our TK through 6th grade summer program started each morning with reading and math to help us stay sharp, especially those learning English or needing extra support before the new school year. The Carmel Public Library hosted a pirate-themed pop-up that turned reading into an adventure. In the afternoons, the YMCA kept the fun going with games and crafts for everyone. Rising 6th graders took an intro to middle school class that helped us feel ready and confident for the fall. Our school district believes in compassion, connection, resilience, and excellence. This summer, we lived those values.
Okay, so that was, I'm sure Sharon can talk more about how that came about, but that was an actual professional group. That was not me by any means, so just making sure. So I guess wrapping things up a bit, Kashawa Camp, this year we did it for 2 weeks. They went on some field trips to Del Monte Cinemas where they saw Lilo and Stitch. They also went to the SPCA and learned a bit about that. And they got to go to Carmel Beach. And then, of course, they did their 4 days of swimming at the pool. And then they did their big finale, which they've done for the last 2 years. And so, big thank you to the Friends of Kashawa for the support on this program. And again, the student volunteers, I have to say, it's like, I think I see it in our students, the students that choose to participate over the summer, whether it's Kashawa or during summer school. You can see the leadership that they get, just their public speaking abilities, everything is just, I'm always really impressed, especially with all of the responsibility that the students are given during this program that Caton puts on them and has done a great job of training these students. And then, of course, huge thank you to the staff led by Caton running this program. So looking forward, I think we've been really fortunate that every year that I've been involved in this, that I've been able to work with our own staff, and we haven't had to hire out of the area. Every year it becomes a little more difficult to hire. I think just as, people want more of their summer, which I get. But so we've been really lucky that so much of this is our own staff, and I hope that we continue doing that. We want to continue improving the recommendation process for who gets invited to summer school. We did a lot of improving on it this year, and I think that will continue evolving. And then same with our communication, our collaboration, everything, every year just gets better and better working with everybody. And we did have a lot of great community partners, but I am looking already to how can we improve that? Some of that giving, even in that situation, having more of our own student volunteers being able to help with our community partners as well. And I hope that we can get that going in the future, as well as improve their own managerial responsibilities that go with putting programs on our different sites. And I have a meeting tomorrow with the Carmel Youth Center to see how we can partner again. I feel they feel a lot more confident about getting back involved with us. So I'm excited for that tomorrow. And then also looking at, I'm working with a couple people in Big Sur for some new opportunities there that may or may not work out, but they definitely want to explore those opportunities. And then we're also looking at ways to provide transportation or alternatives so that we can get people out to other sites besides just what we have going on here. I think that's it. That is it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to add one thing in, which Lee would never say about herself, but in my experience working with her over these summer programs, she, as you even heard, it's summer, school just started, and she's already meeting with people to talk about next summer. And you even heard her mention throughout her presentation that improvements and things. She's constantly having this mindset of this being an iterative experience, meaning we learn from what worked, and we also learn from what could have been better or flat out didn't work and try to improve upon it. So she is a really great leader in demonstrating and modeling that the iterative process works and does end up having a more positive outcome with our programs, and our students benefit and our staff benefit from that too. So thank you, Lee. I just really want to publicly share that because I'm not sure everyone picks up on it. But you work really hard all year long, in addition to your teaching job at CHS, to make sure we have the best possible opportunities in a program that is not easy to provide opportunities in.
Since the board received no request for public comment, I'll open up for board discussion, starting with Matt.
Of course, I have to comment on the success in Big Sur. Actually launching the Stage Kids collaboration just speaks to what is possible with focus, with perseverance, but also when we're focused on the kids. Seeing the kids at the end of the day, at the end of a summer school day. I mean, Annalise and Brittany were fantastic, and what they got done during the day was amazing. But then the dynamic kids after Stage Kids, it was amazing, and that they were at Cooper, they didn't have to bus out of Big Sur and back to Big Sur. It was such a statement of equity. The families felt supported, the kids felt supported, and it was an overall enriching experience. So that is an unquestionable success of this summer program. So congratulations from the inside out. Seeing those kids then at the Stage Kids performance, they were so deeply connected to the theatrics of it all. It just makes the whole community a better place. It also speaks volumes to what can happen with public-private partnerships and the community partnerships when we are strategic and we are thoughtful and we lean into what this community does really well, which is being artisans and being artisans, being actors, being Carmel prides itself on being an artist community. And let's bring that in and let the kids have that experience too. So really, really, really well done. Really proud to be a part of this and to take this presentation. So congratulations, Lee.
Thanks. And I guess to add on to what you're saying, there's been a request from the community to do something there in the summer. And we tried really hard to honor what they are asking for. And so I'm really happy that it was so successful. And I think also by having summer school there, it got more people coming out to swim week too, because they weren't exhausted from a bus ride and a bus ride and a bus ride. So, because we had a lot more attend swim week and stay the whole time.
Amazing.
Lee, how many summers have you been doing this?
I think this was the 5th.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was the 5th, yeah.
I just wish
Yes,
we
it's
could
5th.
go back to your first presentation because I've been here for all of them, and I have to say we're so incredibly lucky to have you. I remember the first summer you ran this program, it was like a fire drill and a scramble and all hands on deck to just make something happen. So from there until we are now, this is really incredible. And the work that you're doing, like Matt said, with the partnerships and our staff and the students and what you've put together here is incredible. And I know it hasn't happened overnight, right? This has been a process. But I think just from sitting in this seat, this sounds like it was one of the best summers ever in terms of the programming and the attendance and everything that you did. So I just, hats off to you for a job well done yet again.
Thanks.
I do have one question though.
Yeah.
So based on all of the year or all of the summers that we've been doing this, do you have any specific goals for participation? And I'm just curious. Because
well, the whole thing's tough because honestly, those first 2 years, we had no requirements from the state of California, which made it obviously a lot easier, but with a lot more flexibility. Now, the state of California is requiring very specific things from us that is very hard to accomplish in a district like this. And, in addition to, I have met with Supervisor Daniels and, Senator Laird. And, I've reached out to as many people as I can, and I know they find me annoying, but I'm it's tough here to offer exactly what the state of California wants within where we are. And I try to explain that to them. So, so participation is really hard because not everybody wants their kid to have a 9-hour day 45 minutes away from where they live in the summer. So I think we're trying to be more creative in different kinds of things that are available to them. So participation is tough. We try to meet the families where they are, but within the requirements the state of California puts on us.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to come up with some alternatives where they could maybe go to the youth center, and how can we make that happen instead of like having to do it here? So trying to provide more things where they already are going might increase participation that in the ways that the family wants.
Yeah, I love that. And it sounds like the participation down in Big Sur was incredible this summer. So I'm glad that you were able to host it there. That's fantastic. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
At the risk of sounding repetitive, I too believe that this summer program is a bright spot in our district. I participated on the Kashawa side, and it's amazing what they do out there and the community partnerships that program has. There are students that are able to have experiences that they wouldn't normally have, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. I want to emphasize the leadership component that's happening, right? There is a lot of leadership development from high school students to even staff people, right? Your leadership, I think, is what is transcending into the development of leadership for the people working in the summer program. And I think it's a really good model. And I hope we continue to evolve. And I just have to say what a bright spot it is. It's a joy working at the Kashawa summer camp. I only do one day, and my little dog and pony show I think is getting old. So I'm gonna have to get creative for the next so they'll invite me back. But no, I think this is absolutely fantastic, and I hope this is used as a model for further leadership development for everybody, whether it be high school students or staff. So thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Lee, and congratulations for another successful year. This is the third one that I've got to see, and I always appreciate the initiative and extra effort you put in to provide such a robust support and enrichment program for these students. It looks like a third that get invited to participate, but I think that still makes all the difference. This is one of the highlights of me sitting on the board, is seeing programs like this and employees like you that really, it's all about the kids and nothing else. Thank you. Juliet, do you have any comments or questions?
Yeah, I do have a comment. Thank you so much for the presentation and for putting all of this on this summer. I was actually able to go to Tularcitos and visit the kids a few times this summer. I wasn't volunteering or anything, but it was fun to see, and the kids seemed like they were having a great time. And it's amazing that they were able to have it was a good summer experience along with also learning. And I think that that's a really important balance that you guys were able to achieve. And it's also a great experience for the high school students as well. I know a lot of my friends do volunteer for the whole summer program, and they find it to be a great experience, and they really love engaging with the littler kids and teaching them and doing all of that stuff. So it's been a great experience all around for the students.
Thanks.
Thank you. This was an information-only item, so there will be no motion or vote necessary. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Agenda item 5B, resolution number 25-13, rejection of bids for softball skills facility project with Chief Operations Officer Dan Paul.
All right, the district put the project out to bid as soon as we had DSA approval. We had 5 contractors attend the mandatory bid walk. 2 contractors subsequently submitted bids on July 30th, and the apparent low bidder withdrew their bid, leaving the remainder bidder significantly over budget. We're recommending rejection of the bids and are prepared to rebid the project immediately and get it before the board at the next meeting.
Thank you. No members of the public have requested public comment, so we'll open this up for board discussion, starting with Matt.
I have no comment. I'm prepared to make the motion.
Does anybody else have any questions or comment, including our student representative? May I receive a motion to approve resolution number 25-13, rejection of bids for softball skills facility project as presented?
I move to approve resolution number 25-13, rejection of bids for softball skills facility project as presented.
Second.
Board President Jason Remenzi.
Yes.
Board Clerk Jake Odello.
Yes.
Board Member Sarah Hines.
Yes.
Board Member Matt Glazer.
Yes.
Thank you, Dan. Item 6, information items. The following items are presented to the governing board as items for information purposes only. These items do not require board discussion or action. Quarterly report on Williams uniform complaints was included, and the 2025-2026 staffing update was included. Agenda item 7, public comment on non-agendized items. Members of the public may address the board regarding items or topics within the board's jurisdiction that were not included on the agenda tonight, and we did not receive any requests for those public comments. I don't expect another report from our superintendent, so we will move on to item 9, board committee reports. These are routine committee updates from CUSD Board of Education, board representatives for Community Human Services, Mission Trails Regional Occupation Executive Board, and Monterey County School Board Association Executive Council Legislative Representative Liaison. Our Community Human Services representative Rita is absent tonight, so we will check in with Jake and Matt for their 2 committees if there is anything to report. Start with Jake.
We have not met in the new school year, so I do not have a report.
Thank you.
Same.
Thank you, Matt. Closed session, item 10. Before adjourning to closed session, the board will identify the closed session items and provide an opportunity for public comment on these items. A, conference with legal counsel for existing litigation pursuant to Government Code 54956.9, subdivision D1, Monterey County Superior Court case number 23CV003167, Davy Christine versus Carmel Unified School District. Item B, public employee discipline dismissal release pursuant to Government Code 54957, subdivision B1. We did not receive requests for public comment, so the board will adjourn into closed session at 6:11 p.m. Good evening. Coming out of closed session, the board reports the following. For item 10A, the board met with legal counsel to receive an update regarding the case referenced on the agenda. For item 10B, the board received an update from district staff. I adjourn this meeting at 7:06 p.m. Thank you. Have a good evening.